All right, so we had some potentially significant news when it comes to the Eastern Conference playoff race when Jason Tatum revealed in interviews this week that he was reconsidering his push to return to the Celtics this season. Tatum, of course, has been out all season long after suffering an Achilles tear in the playoffs last May. At the time, it was believed that injury would cost Tatum all of the 25-26 season, but Tatum has said repeatedly over the last few months that he had hoped to find a way back to the court at some point this season. And it seemed like a couple of weeks ago that we were getting close to that. Tatum was in Detroit with the team on a recent road trip. He did a 45-minute workout in front of reporters that seemed to be a pretty strong signal that he was getting closer to a return. Now it seems like Tatum's head has gone in a different direction. So let's unpack a few things here. For starters, a Tatum return was never just going to be about Jason Tatum. This was going to be a collaborative decision between the Celtics and Tatum. And when I talked to people in Boston, they had emphasized to me that they were going to take a very conservative approach when it came to Tatum. Yes, they have been pleasantly surprised by the way this team has played this season. But this is a team that's built not just to win this year, but over the next couple of years. The core of this team, Jaylen Brown, Derek White, Peyton Pritchard, these are guys in the prime of their career. And Boston believes beginning next season, they can get right back into that conference mix and potentially even the championship mix if they can add the right pieces in the offseason. The Tatum workout, it certainly was revelatory and important because it was a workout that took place in front of the beat writers that were there in Boston. But I was told after that workout not to read too much into it, that Tatum still had a few boxes left to check. He had some physical boxes, but maybe more significantly, he had some mental hurdles he still had to get over, because the mental hurdles for a player coming off this type of injury are just as significant as the physical ones. Physically, clearly, Tatum is able to play. He has been posting videos on social media for months now. He has looked sharp, looked like he's able to do everything. But it's one thing to do these types of workouts when it's one-on-one or one-on-none. It's another thing to drive, to cut, to do all the things that Tatum is accustomed to doing in a live game, especially if some of those live games are coming during a playoff stretch where the intensity is ratcheted up and Tatum's jumping into a situation that he hasn't been in 10, 11 months. Something I thought was notable in all this too. Tatum's personal trainer is Drew Hanlon, who is kind of at the intersection of a couple of Achilles injuries. He's also the personal trainer for Tyrese Halliburton, helping him work his way back into the mix. Hanlon also has worked closely with Zach LaVine. Now, why is that important? Zach LaVine, in 2017, suffered an ACL tear. Not a same injury, but a significant injury nonetheless. He suffered that in March. He came back to the Bulls 11 months later. And while physically he was able to play, he did not look like his old self. He said after the fact, he only felt like 60 to 70% of what he once was. He played for 2 months, then the Bulls decided to shut him down in mid-March. So that can be instructive, can be informative for Jason Tatum when he's thinking about coming back. Can he come back after 10, 11 months maybe after this type of injury and get back to being the player that he once was? That's probably where Jason Tatum is at right now. He might physically feel like he's ready to go, but Boston is not going to drop him into a hyper-competitive environment if he's not all the way back. And Tatum is not going to want to be dropped into that kind of environment unless he feels like he's mentally ready to go. So even though we have seen some really good stuff from Jason Tatum, it looks like he's in shape. It looks like he's able to do a lot of the things he did before the injury. It still feels like there's a long way to go before Jason Tatum is really ready to get back on the floor. And the more time that passes, the less likely it is that the Celtics are willing to bring him back either.
Hit subscribe for more news, highlights, and analysis from the NBA on NBC.